The combat arena fell silent as Kira Vance stepped onto the reinforced platform, her boots making barely a whisper against the carbon steel floor. Around her, 23 cadets from across the Galactic Federation shifted nervously, their bioluminescent skin patterns flickering with anticipation. They had all heard the rumors about the human from Earth, the notorious Deathworld that produced beings capable of surviving in conditions that would kill most sentient species within minutes. "Begin simulation," announced the automated voice of the training facility. The Vraxian twins moved first, their 6 arms extending with practiced coordination. They were considered the Academy's finest close combat specialists, having trained since their 3rd molt cycle. Behind them, a Kaltorian strategy master coordinated hand signals to the others, forming a tactical encirclement. They had studied human physiology in preparation for this moment: slower reflexes than Vraxians, weaker exoskeletons than Thernids, inferior sensory perception compared to the Alsatians. What the data files hadn't mentioned was the look in Kira's eyes, the cold calculation of a predator evolved on a world where everything wanted to kill you. The first Vraxian lunged, its superior speed evident in the blur of motion. Kira didn't try to match it. Instead, she dropped her center of gravity in a move that seemed impossibly low for a bipedal species, letting momentum carry her attacker overhead. Her elbow struck upward with surgical precision, finding the neural cluster at the base of the Vraxian's thorax. The cadet crumpled, its voluntary motor functions temporarily disabled. 3 seconds had elapsed. The Kaltorian strategy dissolved as the human moved through their formation like water through a cracked dam. A Thernid attempted to use its superior strength, grabbing Kira's arm with a grip that could crush titanium alloy. She didn't pull away, she stepped into the grab, rotating her shoulder joint in a way that made the Alsatian observers wince in sympathetic pain. The leverage shift sent the Thernid flipping through the air, its shell cracking against the floor with a resonant thud. 7 seconds. 2 Phosian cadets attacked in tandem, their crystalline appendages sharp enough to cut through ship hull plating. Kira's response defied their understanding of physical combat. She caught the first strike on her forearm, the reinforced sleeve of her combat suit absorbing the blow that should have severed the limb entirely. Before the second Phosian could react, she had pivoted, using the first attacker as a shield and lever simultaneously. Both crashed to the ground in a tangle of fractured crystal and confusion. 12 seconds. The remaining cadets rushed her as a group, abandoning strategy for overwhelming force. This was their fatal mistake. Kira had grown up on Earth, where gravity was 1.3 times galactic standard, where the atmosphere was a corrosive oxygen-nitrogen mix that burned through most alien respiratory systems, where even the microbial life was aggressive enough to be classified as a biological hazard. Every movement she made carried the kinetic potential of a species forged in a crucible of evolutionary warfare. She flowed between them like a ghost, each strike targeting nerve clusters, joint vulnerabilities, and sensory organs with a precision that spoke of countless hours studying xenobiology. A Kaltorian went down clutching its optical stalks. An Alsatian collapsed as its auditory chambers overloaded from a targeted strike. The Thernids, for all their armored strength, discovered that every shell had weak points, and humans were excellent at finding them. 28 seconds after the simulation began, Kira Vance stood alone in the center of the arena, her breathing barely elevated. Around her, 23 of the Federation's finest combat cadets lay groaning on the floor, their pride wounded far more severely than their bodies. The observation deck erupted in shocked murmurs. Instructor K'threl, a grizzled veteran of the frontier wars, tapped her data pad with a manipulator appendage. "Note to Federation Command," she muttered into the recorder. "Recommendation: never underestimate a species that evolved where everything, including the weather, actively tries to kill you." On the arena floor, Kira extended a hand to help the nearest Vraxian to its feet. The cadet stared at her with newfound respect, finally understanding why the galaxy called Earth a Deathworld. It wasn't just the environment that was dangerous. It was what that environment created.